Okay, so yes, so finally we are live, and please do join fast so that we can begin the session. So this is going to be counting lecture number 3, okay, in the GATE Data Science and AI GATE crash course, okay, for 2024, right? So we are learning counting, how to count basically, right? So already we have learned in our childhood how to count, but we are learning some good techniques, okay, so that we can solve very difficult problem in the future, right? So we have covered many questions in the last session, right? And I started with the computation and combination, right? Okay, so please do join fast so that we can begin the session. Hi Atif, good evening. So let me inform everybody to join the session so that we can begin it, right? So today we are going to learn many concepts, right? Uh, so one of the concept is gonna be what is permutation and what is combination. Already we have seen NPR and NCR formula in the last session, right? So yeah. Okay, so in this session I'm gonna talk about permutation and combination, okay, again, and then we will solve the problem. And we'll also understand what is linear permutation and what is circular permutation, right? So that you have to understand, okay? Fine. So let me start now, and I will also give you the recap whatever we have done in the last few seasons. Okay. So I hope my voice and everything is okay. So this is going to be L3, and we are talking about counting. So we started with permutation. Okay. Suppose you have got 5 friends, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and you have got 3 spaces. Okay, like there are 5 friends, and you have to take 5 friends and ask them to stand in a row, right, to get their picture captured, right? So what you're going to do here is you want these 5 friends, okay, in 3 slots. Okay, you want to arrange these 5 friends in 3 slots, right? So you have to take 3 friends, right? Okay, so you will take 3 friends, and so you're going to do like this. Okay, please remember this. So out of 5 friends, you're going to arrange 3 friends, right? So this is called permutation. Okay, and if I talk about combination, see, if you want to arrange, okay, if you want to arrange, that is called permutation. But if you only want to select, okay, that is called selection, okay, or combination, right? So in this session, basically we will talk about permutation and combination, and based on this we will also solve some questions. Combination. So permutation is nothing but arrangement. Okay, arrangement. So any university you go through, whether it is MIT, Stanford, or you take a look lectures which are going on at this moment. Like you can watch Stanford online, right? So in fact, the professor from Stanford also talking about counting, right? Because counting is one of the foundation, which will help you make your concept strong in future, right? So you can solve any sort of problem. So permutation is nothing but arrangement. Okay, so in very easy language that we can understand, if you have to arrange people, okay, that is called arrangement. Okay, that is called permutation. But if you want only to select those people, you don't want to arrange them, right? Okay, so that is going to be combination. So combination is nothing but selection. Okay, where order is not important, but in this case order is important. Okay, so suppose there are n number of objects. Okay, suppose there are n objects, right? Okay, and you have to select r object, right? Okay, you have n number of object and you have to arrange r object if somebody is asking. N object are there, and you have to arrange r object, or object, and they are distinct object. I'm saying they are distinct object. Okay, r distinct objects are there. Okay, so an object and distinct objects are there, are distinct object you have to arrange. So NPR it will be. Okay, and NPR is nothing but n factorial upon n minus r factorial. Okay, and what is this combination? Combination is nothing but NCR. NCR is nothing but what? N factorial upon r factorial and minus r factorial, right? So basically I'm not going to use this formula, okay? NPR formula I'm not going to use. Which formula I'm going to use is that you have to always keep in mind is what we will do here is, in order to calculate like NPR, we will first select NCR and then we will arrange them. That is called selection first, then arranging them. Okay, you can think about Indian team, right? So out of total number of players in a team, right? What we are going to do, we are going to select 11, and then when match will be there, we are going to arrange them, right? We will be sending somebody in the first, okay, and then in the middle order, then in the tail order, right? So this is called you can understand arrangement, okay? Arrangement or selection, right? So arrangement and selection. So permutation is nothing but what, or their order matters a lot, right? If you're saying ABC and then saying BAC, so order does matter. But in case of selection, okay, selection is not all about arrangement, right? Selection is just out of an object you are choosing what, R object, right? So please remember one, okay? These are very important concepts that you have to keep in mind, okay? And yes, so I hope this makes sense to everyone, right? So you guys can understand these formulas. These formulas are not that difficult, right? Okay. So now, and we have already discussed some of the basic principle of counting, right? We discussed about product rule, okay? That is called multiplication rule, okay? And we have also seen the sum rule, right? So those things we have seen, okay? And now we are talking about this. Sometimes what happens, guys, sometimes we sometimes overcount also. So that is very important to remember. Sometimes we overcount, okay? Overcounting and then correcting, okay? This is also very important to keep in mind, okay? Overcounting then correcting, okay? Understood? So why we go for overcounting? There are some advantages as well, right? So what you do, you find out total number of ways, then subtract, okay? So one strategy for counting is sometimes to overcount a solution and then correct for any duplicates, right? Okay, this is very important to understand. So this is especially common when it is easier to generate all outcomes under some relaxed assumptions, right? So you can find out total outcomes, then you can correct it, right? So this is also one of the strategy that you have to keep in mind, okay, while solving the question. Okay, so NPR and NCR, remember NPR is nothing but what, first you select, this is called selection, and then you're going to arrange it, okay? So this is an overall is named as arrangement, okay? And NCR is what, NCR is going to be, okay, NCR is going to be n factorial by r factorial and minus r factorial, right? So please remember these things so that you can solve any question, okay? Fine. So moving forward, okay, we will take one theorem here, and this theorem is important, guys. So by reading this theorem you might not understand, but once we will solve the problem, you will understand, right? So please yeah, Arshdeep is asking what is the meaning of overcounting. Overcounting means sometimes what we do is this is one of the strategy that you can understand. Sometimes what we do is we count everything, right? And then we start removing duplicates, right? Okay, so we can subtract duplicate if somewhere we are getting duplicates, okay? So we can subtract it. I think last time we have done one problem, okay? There was overcounting and then we were subtracting, okay? You might have seen when we were talking about one problem where divisibility by 3 as well as divisibility by 5 was there, right? Okay, so this theorem you read it first. I am very sure that nobody is going to understand this theorem, right? But once we will solve the problem, you will understand that formula, right? So right now you know only NCR and NPR formula, that's it, okay? But read this theorem. This theorem is very important, Okay, and we will solve the problem based on this theorem first. Okay, then you will understand this formula, how we have done n minus p and c r minus p, right? N minus p c r minus p. We are going to prove this. Okay, we are going to prove this by solving this question, right? Okay, first read the theorem number one. Read the theorem number one. Okay, so Asdeep, I hope you might have understood what is the meaning of overcounting. Okay, sometimes you need to overcount things. Okay, then you have to remove the duplicates, right? Okay, that is very, very important to keep in mind. And that is one of the strategy nobody discuss in the classroom. Okay, when they solve the problem, if overcounting has been done, they say that okay, these are the duplicates, we have to remove it. But before that, if I make you alert, right, that you have to be cautious, while solving the question, you can also overcount. Okay, and then you can subtract the duplicates which occurs in, okay, in the process of overcounting, right? So I hope this makes sense to all. Hmm. So can somebody see here? Yeah. So let me read the theorem number one. Number of combination of n different things. Remember, n different things. Okay, means distinct object taken r at a time when p particular things are always included. Okay, always included, right? So p particular things are always included. Okay, remember there are n different objects. You can say n different things. Okay, and we are taking r at a time. Okay, where when p particular things are always included. See guys, we are not arranging things, right? We are just taking, we are just selecting. Okay, please remember, but that p number of objects are always included in this process. So better nowadays, World Cup is going on, so let us take the example of cricket, right? Understood. So though these players are not available in the cricket team, unfortunately, but after all, they are the retired cricketer, right? So and MSD nobody can forget. Yuvraj Singh also nobody can forget, right? So let us read the problem first. Find total number of ways of selecting 11 players out of 15 players when Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Yuvraj Singh are always included, right? These two players are always included, guys. So how many players you have to select? You have to select 11 players, right? Okay, but two players are already selected, means they are always included. You don't have to select it. Okay, I hope this makes sense. So how many players are remaining then? See, there are 15 players in which MSD and Yuvraj is also there. So they are already selected. So how many players are there then? You have got only 13 players. Okay, and how many players you have to select now? You have to select 9 players. What you're doing here is you are subtracting 2 from total and as well as from the from what you're going to select it, right? So I hope this formula is okay, right? If some number of objects are already always included, means that is p object, right? So you have to subtract from n and you have to subtract from r, right? This is very important concept to understand, right? So let me write here, suppose 15 players are there, right? 15 players, total number of players are 15 and you have to select 11 players. Okay. If suppose I don't know the formula, I don't know NPR formula, right? N minus P and C and minus P, sorry, R minus P. Suppose we don't know this, right? Suppose we don't know this formula. So how to solve this problem, right? So first, you see here, find the total number of ways of selecting 11 players out of 15 players when Mahendra Singh Dhoni as well as Yuvraj Singh are always included, right? Suppose there are these guys are always there, MSD and Yuvraj is always there. Now 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 9 players you have to choose. 9 players you have to choose, right? So these are the 9 players that you have to select. I hope this makes sense. So from here minus 2 you can do, from here you can do minus 2, right? So there are 13 players and you have to choose 9 players now. Okay, so what is this, guys? The answer will be 13C9. Okay. This is called selection. I think nobody might be having any sort of doubt. Okay. Okay. That is why I always ask people to attend the live session and you can interact with me always, right? So see, if you directly, take a look at theorem, right? So you will not be able to understand what is the meaning of n minus p, c, r minus p, right? But now, since World Cup is going on and we are free to choose these kind of examples, right? The total number of ways of selecting 11 players out of 15 players. When suppose any other player you can take, right? I don't have any problem. Suppose 4 players are always included, right? You have 15 total players, okay, and 4 players are always included, okay. So I hope this makes sense to all, right? So suppose you have got 15 players, right, and you have to choose 11 players, okay? But 4 players are always included. Let me include your favorite players like Virat Kohli, or nowadays, earlier Sky was there, right? He was very everyone's favorite guy, right? But now in the last match you might have seen Virat Kohli. Because of Virat Kohli he got out also, right? So now 4 players are already included, means you have to subtract 4 players, right? -4 and -4 from both the side you have to. So it is nothing but 11 and it is nothing but 7. So now answer will be C7, 11C7. So instead of using this n minus p, c, r minus p, okay, better to count like this, okay. In reality, instead of keeping your mind busy, right, remembering a big, you can say a long inch 1 inch long formula, बेटर टू काउंट, ओके, नेचुरली. तो आपको जल्दी समझ आएगा, ठीक है. बहुत सारे लोग क्या करते हैं, 1 इंच लॉन्ग फॉर्मूले को रटते हैं, ठीक है. एंड आई एम वेरी श्योर दैट मैनी पीपल डू द सेम. यस, चलो ठीक है, लेट्स मूव अहेड. The theorem number 2, it is very interesting theorem, right? It is going to be very interesting theorem, guys. You can take a look. So read the theorem first. Take a couple of minutes and read the theorem. Okay. Read the theorem first. Okay. So what we can do here is number of combination of n different things. Sometimes they will give you distinct. Okay. Distinct things taken R at a time, means selected R at a time, when P particular things are always excluded. समझ गया ना? You can understand. UV Chahal was always excluded, right, here in this tournament, right? You can understand like this, okay? So that guy was already excluded. Okay. So number of combination of n different things taken R at a time when P particular things are always excluded, right? So n minus P CR, that is going to be n minus P CR. Okay. So what we are going to do here is we will take the same example, right? You see here we have got 15 players. We got 15 players and we have to select 11 players. You can, but 2 players are always excluded, right? 2 players are always excluded, right? Okay, you have to exclude 2 players. Matlab, how many players you have to select? How many players you have to select then? Okay, how many players we have? Okay, we have only 13 players, guys. See, 15 players are total, right? And 11 players we have to select. Okay. Now they are saying that 2 players are always excluded, means in the selection team, though 2 players will not be there, right? So how many players are there? 13 players are there, right? And you have to select, you have to form a team, that is 11 players you have to select, right? So you have to only subtract 2 from here, guys. Don't subtract from here. In case of exclusion, right? Exclusion, don't subtract from what you're going to select, right? That is very important. So this is going to be 13 and this is 11. So answer will be what? 13C11. I hope everybody understood this. right? 13C11 is the right answer for this question. Okay, 13C11. Okay, I hope this makes sense. And last time this was 13C9, right? How many of you understood? Please write in the chat box if you have understood these problems, right? So we started with the very basic concept of permutation combination, right? That is called combinatorics also. Okay, in computer science people study that word, right? And okay, I hope this makes sense to you, right? So theorem 1, we start with theorem 1, that is n minus p c r minus p. Okay, so I think you can go through the statement is given here, right? But the formula becomes difficult to understand. Better to count naturally the way Dheeraj sir is counting for you, right? So you will be able to understand, right? Okay. It is not necessary that Ajit Agarkar will come and start counting, right? Okay. We can count also. Understand? Okay. Fine. So I hope everybody have understood, and let us move ahead. So these are the theorem 1 and 2, right? So I hope this makes sense. Now we will talk about some of the question based on NCR and NPR, right? So let us solve some question based on NCR and NPR, right? So I have taken some question. Question number 1 is here, okay, on your screen. So we have to use NCR formula, right? Wherever we have to make arrangement, so we have to always use NCR and then arrange it. NCR, arrange it. We don't have to use NPR formula. Please remember, guys. NCR only we have to use, whether we are whether we are selecting or whether we are arranging, right? Okay. So what I mean to say here is that NPR is nothing but what? NCR into R factorial. Okay. And NCR is NCR only, and factorial by R factorial minus R factorial, right? So these two formulas are there. Let us try to solve some question. Okay, now the very first question is on your screen, and I hope everybody can solve this question, right? So our test consists of 6 multiple choice questions. So there are 6 multiple choice questions, right? MCQ is there. There are 6 multiple choice questions, each having 4 alternative answers, right? Each having 4 alternative answers, and that is true. Okay, that we know already. Understood? So further what they have given is answers of which only one is correct. So out of 4, certainly one will be correct. Okay, that we know. Number of ways in which a candidate answers all 6 questions, right? You have to find number of ways in which a candidate answers all 6 questions such that they have already told you that exactly 4 of the answers are correct. Matlab out of 6, 4 answers are correct. It means what? 2 answers will be wrong, right? I mean 2 questions are going to be wrong, right? So how many questions are there, guys? 6 questions are there, 6 MCQ, right? जिसमें 4 करेक्ट हैं, 4 करेक्ट है and 2 कितना है? Wrong है. Okay, this is the counting that we are doing, right? It's a natural process. ठीक है. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so there are 6 MCQ, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and you have to pick up 4 questions out of 6. Okay, and they can be correct. They must be correct, right? Okay. So remember, if they are correct means what? There is only one way. There is only one way that 4, one question can be correct, right? 2 second question can be correct. Third question can be correct. Okay, understood? And you can permute, right? You can take any question and you can permute it, right? So let me choose the question. 4 questions we have to choose first, okay, so that we can correct it. So out of 6 questions we are going to choose 4 questions and we're going to solve them. So we say that yeah, that is correct. That is only one way there is, the question can be correct. Okay, there is no other way, already, right? When you go for the examination, if you're going to if you think that let us choose B and you're not sure, right? So that question will be wrong, right? Only one way is there that question can be correct. So we can choose any question. You can choose this question, you can choose this question, you can choose this, you can choose this, any question, right? So what we can do here is 6C4 will be there, right? And we know that if we have chosen these 4 questions, so only one way is there, these questions can be correct, right? So you can say that one way, right? Only one arrangement you're going to get for 4 questions. 4 questions, one arrangement is going to be. Now there are two which are wrong, right? There are two which are wrong. So how many ways are there these 2 questions can be wrong? Can somebody tell me here? How many ways are there these three? You can say 2 questions can be wrong. Only 3 ways are there, right? Okay. Okay, because if one of the option you are going to choose, okay, so you can say that here 3 into 3, right? So I hope this makes sense. So answer will be what? So for 2 questions which are going to be wrong, so there are 3 ways, right? The question can be wrong. Understood? Yeah, perfect. So 3 into 3, so you can choose, you can solve this. So I think people can solve this. What is the answer here? 135. Okay. 135 is the correct answer. So you see guys, this is a very big question, right? Okay, but you are able to solve in you can say less than 20 seconds, right? So this question demands only 20 seconds. Okay, if you are attending my classes, so 20 seconds will be required to solve this question, right? Many of you might be thinking, sir, how you have multiplied 3 into 3? Okay, so 4 questions we have taken already, right? And we have seen that, yeah, only one way will be there for 4 questions to be correct. And now 2 questions are wrong, right? So how many ways are there you can have the 2 questions wrong? Okay, so you can say that there are 3 ways. I hope this makes sense. Okay, fine. So now let me take one more question. So I hope this makes sense, right? So question number 2. Do not always think, guys, the formula is going to help you to answer these questions. Okay, that is why I have kept the heading counting lecture number 3. And I'm shouting again and again. You watch any sort of university lecture, whether it is Stanford or MIT or Harvard or any NPTEL or any IITs, you will always see that they are talking about counting, right? But in this manner you will not be finding the content, right? Because people talk about big things first, right? Okay, but what I'm doing is I'm teaching you from the student point of view how to attack in the main exam, right? So these kind of question you might expect in your aptitude as well as your mathematics, right? In data science or AI, or you belong from any branch, right? Okay, let me solve this question. So there are 15 players in a cricket team, out of which 6 are bowler, right? And 7 are batsmen, okay? And 2 are wicket keepers. So you might be thinking, sir, why you are taking again and again the cricket question? See, nowadays World Cup is going on, so I must take these kind of questions, right? The number of ways a team of 11 players be selected from them, right? So guys, remember these questions all are already has been asked in some of the IITs, JEE mains entrance, right? Okay, so these are not simple questions, right? But we are able to solve this simply because we know how to count. Okay, so there are 15 players in a cricket team, out of which 5 are bowlers, 7 are batsmen, and 2 are wicket keepers. Okay. Now the number of ways a team of 11 players be selected from them so as to include at least 4 bowlers, okay, 5 बैट्समैन एंड 1 विकेट कीपर. एटलीस्ट का मतलब क्या होता है? मतलब बॉलर शुड बी 4, बॉलर कैन बी 5, बॉलर कैन बी 6, okay, bowler cannot be 7 because 6 bowlers are total, right? So at least means greater, right? 4 or greater than 4. Batsman should be 5, okay, and one of the you can say wicket keeper, and total number of people should be in the team 11 only, right? So let me draw the table and quickly solve it, right? So we are going to use the NCR formula only, right? Yeah, you see how magically we are solving this question. So suppose we have got how many players are there? 6 bowlers, 6 bowlers, right? 6 bowlers and 7 batsmen, okay, and 2 wicket keeper, right? Now you see here in this question they have mentioned that team should be 11. Okay, so combination, whatever combination you're going to take, team should be 11. Selected from them so as to include at least four bowlers, right? So at least four bowlers should be there, and you can say that five batsmen, okay, and one wicket keeper, right? Okay, in one of the team, right? Okay, zero wicket keeper should not be there. One can be, or that is very important to understand, right? Okay, so let me start taking. So suppose there are four bowlers, right? Four bowlers. So there can be five batsmen, right? Five batsmen you can take, right? So four plus five, how many? Nine. Now two are remaining, so you can say two wicket keeper we can take, right? Okay. And suppose four bowlers are there, and we can take six batsmen because there are seven batsmen, right? So six can be there. So one of the wicket keepers should be there, right? Please remember this, one of the combination. Okay. Now we can't take 4 and 7 here. Okay, we can't take 4 and 7 and 0, right? Like this is wrong. Okay, don't take it. Okay. Why? Because there should be at one wicket keeper. Okay? There should be one wicket keeper, at least one wicket keeper. That is very important. Okay, at least four bowler, five batsmen, and one wicket keeper. Means one or greater than one can be, but there are two wicket keeper only, right? Yeah. So we are going to take five bowlers, right? And if you are going to take five bowlers, right? So let me take the maximum, right? Let me take the maximum. You can say five batsmen. One wicket keeper should be there, right? Okay. So I think this is clear. Five, right? If you are going to take five, this, okay, and you should take four, okay. So two wicket keeper is possible, right? Okay. So I think this is clear for all, right? Understood. So I think this has already been 1 minute. So 5, 4, and this is 2, right? So 4, 5, okay. Yeah. So let me erase this, right? So I think 6 bowlers, 7 batsmen, and this. Now you can find the combination here. So out of 6, how many bowlers you are choosing, right? Out of 6, how many bowlers you are choosing? Okay. Okay. So you can say 6C4 multiply with 7C5 and 2C2, right? Then 4, we should write like this: 6C4 and 7C6 and then 2C1. Next 6C5, right, and then 7C5 and then 2C1, right? I believe this is fine for all, right? Now you have got this, all the combinations, and then add it, right? Then you can add it, right? So just plus, okay. So whatever answer you will get, that is the answer. You add total of that. So I hope this makes sense, right? How many of you understood this? Huh? How many of you understood this? That is very important, right? Okay. So 4. Okay. So if you're going to take 6 here, right? If you're going to take 6, suppose you are thinking about taking 6, and then so at least 4 out of 6 bowler, right? Out of 6 bowler, you're taking 4, you're taking 5, right? Okay. So if you're taking other combination, you can think about it. But these are the possible combination that we can have: 4, 5, 2, okay, 4, 6, 1, and 5, 5, 1. Okay. Yes. Atif is saying, yeah, question was big, but it is very simple. Yes, because my way of learn. If you are going to learn under the guidance of me, the way, because if you might have seen one of the status I have updated on my WhatsApp also from past 1 year, I think, or past couple of years, I'm not sure. अभी भी मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, means I'm mentoring, but I'm studying at this moment also. So you can think about it. I always think in the point of view of students, right? The way you are going to attack in the examination. मुझे आता है उससे मतलब नहीं है, ठीक है? मुझे आता है, if I'm a teacher, suppose कंसिडर इफ आई एम अ टीचर, ओके, सो मुझे आता है, आपसे नहीं आता तो क्या मतलब फिर, राइट? तो आपको एग्जाम में आना चाहिए, ठीक है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आई होप दिस क्वेश्चन इज ओके, राइट? तो आपको सबसे पहले क्या करना है, यहाँ पर स्ट्रेस डालना है, राइट? और जो भी है आप पहले उसको टेबल बनाओ बढ़िया से, डोंट बी इन हरी, सर 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 क्वेश्चन आ गया बनना चाहिए, नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। पहले रीड क्वेश्चन, अंडरस्टैंड सिनारियो, राइट, एंड ड्रॉ द सिचुएशन एंड देन कंक्लूड द आंसर, ठीक है? चलो, तो केस 1 315, केस 2 210, केस 3 ठीक है, जो भी आंसर है करेक्ट है। Let me go to next question. You see, I have kept one page extra, okay, to solve the question, but all these questions we are able to solve in one line, right? So it's a very good thing. Okay. Now question number 3 is on your screen, right? Question number 3 is on your screen. Let me go through this question. So a scientific committee is to form, uh, formed from 6 Indian, 8 foreigners. Okay, मतलब आपके पास 6 Indians हैं, 8 foreigners हैं, and you have to form a scientific committee, right? Which includes at least 2 Indians. मतलब 2 Indians can be there in the committee. You can say 3 Indians also can be there, 4 Indians, 5 Indians, 6 Indians, right? Okay, that is very important. And double the number of foreigners. Suppose you are going to take 2 Indians, so how many foreigners will be there? 4 foreigners will be there, right? That is very important. Okay, so they did not mention here how many members are there in the scientific committee, right? It's a very good question, right? So let me go through this and let me help you understand how to count, ठीक है? जिसको गिनती आती है ना, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 like this, okay, they can do wonders in their life. Let me, from the day one I am telling you, right? आप एप्टीट्यूड में पूरे मार्क्स ला सकते हो, ठीक है? द मोमेंट आई विल टीच यू एप्टीट्यूड, राइट, द क्वांटिटिव एप्टीट्यूड, you know, in fact you can crack any sort of exam in your life where you are failing since many years, ठीक है? तो सब कुछ टेस्टेड है, ओके, taught and tested, you can, ठीक है? So let me take here the combination. So always keep in mind there are 6 Indians, right, and 8 foreigners, ठीक है? Now the condition, whatever condition, if you are going to choose 2 Indians, तो कितने फॉरेनर्स होंगे? 4 होंगे, याद रखना, 2 इंडियंस और डबल, एटलीस्ट 2 इंडियंस होने चाहिए, तो ये इसका क्या लेंगे? डबल लेंगे, ठीक है? सपोज आई एम गोइंग टू टेक 3 इंडियंस, तो 6, ठीक है? नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू टेक 4 इंडियंस, तो 8 फॉरेनर्स आर देयर, डबल, ओनली 3 केस बन रहे हैं। हाँ, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड वेरी गुड वेरी गुड, क्योंकि 8 से ज्यादा फॉरेनर्स तो आपके पास है नहीं, 8 से ज्यादा फॉरेनर्स है नहीं, तो 3 ही केस बनेंगे। बहुत अच्छी बात है, बहुत अच्छी बात है। चलो, तो अब यहां से क्या करेंगे? आउट ऑफ 6 हाउ मेनी? 6C2। सी गाइज, यू आर नॉट अरेंजिंग पीपल, यू आर जस्ट सिलेक्टिंग। आपको सिलेक्शन अब मैंने सिखा दिया है, आपको क्लियर आइडिया होना चाहिए व्हाट इज द डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन परम्यूटेशन एज वेल एज कॉम्बिनेशन, राइट? Okay, after learning from this session, right? Okay, so keep in mind this 3 6. Okay, so you see here you have to write also 8C4, next 6C3, and then 8C6, right? Then 6C4 and 8C8, right? So I think this is clear, right? I believe this is clear. So you guys can just find out all the cases, case 1, case 2, case 3, and I think these are not complicated cases, right? You can solve these questions you know, in 20 seconds, right? Again, मुझे नहीं लगता इस टाइम इतना लगेगा, तो आंसर इसका आएगा ऐड। अब कितना आंसर आ रहा है आप लोग कंप्यूट करके बता सकते हो मुझे, ठीक है? चलो, तो कितना आ रहा है बताओ जल्दी फास्ट इसका। What is the answer for this question? Yeah. Can somebody solve this question? I mean, can somebody solve these cases and add? Acha, 1625 is the right answer, right? You can say 1625. Yeah, very good. So you should know how to solve, right? That's it. See, questions are not difficult, right? PNC you can solve. Advanced level PNC you can solve, right? cat level PNC you can solve, right? Okay, you can solve any sort of question after learning from my season. That is what I can assure. Okay, so question number 4. Okay, question number 4. Now you see the question number 4. It's an amazing question, right? Amazing. A debate club consists of 6 girls and 4 boys. So how many total people are there? 6 plus 4, 10, right? A team of 4 members has to be selected from this club, right? Means team of 4 members you have to select, including a selection of a captain, right? From among these 4, you can say members, right? Okay. Okay. Remember, for the team, if the team has to include at most 1 boy, then number of ways of selecting the team is what? At most 1 boy. At most 1 boy. मतलब क्या है? It means less than 1. Less than or equal to 1, you can say 0 or 1. ठीक है? 0 or 1. So can somebody tell me here, guys, what will be the condition here? So let me form here. Suppose you have 6 girls and 4 boys, but they have given the condition here that the team should include what? One, at most 1 boy, right? So at most 1 boy, you can say maximum 1. This is allowed. Okay, and okay, I hope this makes sense to everyone. So let me read the question again. A debate club consists of 6 girls and 4 boys, and you have to make a 4-member team. You have to make a 4-member team, right? So मतलब क्या है? 4 and 0 boy is fine, right, in one team. There is no boy in the team. Okay. Atif is saying 2 cases in this, 4 girls and 1 boy. ठीक है, देखो क्या होता है लाइफ में। और अगर आप 3 गर्ल चूज करते हो तो एक ही लड़का ले सकते हो अपने टीम में। ठीक है, तो ये तो बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, वही लगता है। ये कितना हो गया? 6C4 एंड 4C0। गाइस, जितने भी क्वेश्चन हम लोग सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, दिस क्वेश्चन और already has been asked in mains advanced questions, right, in IIT JEE, right? So we need to solve questions which have been designed by IITs, right? So better we can test our caliber, right? And we can learn, but we can make our foundation strong. ठीक है, जैसे आपको आप एग्जांपल ले सकते हो, जब बिफोर यू स्टार्ट बिल्डिंग योर हाउस, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फोकस ऑन योर फाउंडेशन, राइट? नहीं तो फिर अर्थक्वेक आया, कोई प्रॉब्लम आई, थोड़ा भी हवा चली कि घर गिर गया, राइट? तो आपको हमेशा फाउंडेशन में फोकस करना चाहिए। ओके, देन आस्क लाइक दिस, many स्टूडेंट्स आस्क मी दैट सर कितना मार्क्स आना चाहिए गेट में, कितना मतलब हाउ मच मार्क्स वी नीड टू गेट इनटू आईआईटी। यार जस्ट फोकस ऑन योर फाउंडेशन। आर यू गुड इन बेसिक्स? इफ यू आर गुड इन बेसिक्स देन लाइफ इज इजी, राइट? चलो इसके आगे क्या होगा? कितना आंसर आ गया बताओ? 6C3 एंड देन 4C1। ठीक है, 6C3 एंड 4C1। ठीक है, आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर फॉर ऑल, राइट? लेकिन एक चीज और आपको ध्यान देना है इस क्वेश्चन में। क्या ध्यान देना था? हाँ, आतिफ इज करेक्ट। ओके, that is very important, so I will include that also, right? ठीक है, so in this case you have to also select the captain, right? तो यहाँ पर देखो, including selection of the captain from among the 4, तो एक ही कैप्टन होगा, तो 4C1 and 4C1, right? I hope now it is correct. okay, ये क्या है? सिलेक्शन ऑफ द कैप्टन है। सिलेक्शन ऑफ कैप्टन, हर टीम में आपको एक कैप्टन चाहिए, ठीक है, आउट ऑफ 4। तो कितने लोगों का आंसर आ गया बताओ भाई, जल्दी सॉल्व करो इसको। ठीक है, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू अंडरस्टूड दिस मैजिक? So this is called magic, guys. This is called magic. Okay, and you can play with the PNC, right? In fact, you don't have to go anywhere, right? I'm telling you all kind of resources that you can follow, but this resource will be the building block of all, ऑल अदर रिसोर्सेज टू अंडरस्टैंड। मान लो अगर आप ये सेशन लेकर के आप स्टैनफोर्ड ऑनलाइन में जाते हो या MIT OCW में जाते हो, नहीं 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 नहीं, नहीं। कैप्टन को इंक्लूड करना पड़ेगा ना, कैप्टन को इंक्लूड करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज इन दिस क्वेश्चन दे हैव मेंशन दैट इन ईच टीम देयर विल बी वन कैप्टन एज वेल। सो वन कैप्टन मतलब क्या है, 4C1 से मल्टीप्लाई, सिंपल है, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम इन ईच केसेस। यस, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू रिमेंबर, यस, ठीक है। So guys, other people also can participate in counting. Okay, I encourage everyone to participate. ऐसा नहीं है कि only one guy is answering, only one guy has to get into Indian Institute of Science Bangalore और IIT बॉम्बे, मतलब एक ही बंदे को नहीं जाना है, सबको न जाना है। तभी तो आप लोग WhatsApp ग्रुप ज्वाइन किए हो, you guys have joined Telegram groups, you guys are following on LinkedIn, सब जगह फॉलो कर रहे हो। You need to answer। फिर उसके बाद क्वेश्चन पूछा करोगे सर कितने मार्क्स आने चाहिए गेट में तो हम IIT ISC में, अब आंसर नहीं दे रहे हो, राइट? ठीक है, चलो ठीक है, फाइन। सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? अब देखो एक कॉन्सेप्ट हम लोग और सीखेंगे, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइंस और ट्रायंगल्स। तो मान लो आपके पास बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स हैं, रैंडम पॉइंट्स आपके पास हैं। Suppose you have got many points, right? They can be collinear points, they can be नॉन कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स। ठीक है, तो कोलिनियर पॉइंट का मतलब क्या होता है, अगर वो स्ट्रेट लाइन में पॉइंट्स हैं उनको हम कोलिनियर पॉइंट बोलेंगे। अगर वो पॉइंट रैंडमली ऐसे ही कहीं भी रखे हुए हैं, दे आर कॉल्ड नॉन कोलिनियर पॉइंट, दे आर नॉट अरेंज्ड इन स्ट्रेट लाइन। दैट यू हैव टू ऑलवेज कीप इन माइंड दीज वर्ड्स, राइट? तो अगर क्वेश्चन आता है कि नंबर ऑफ हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन यू कैन फॉर्म, हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल यू कैन फॉर्म बाय टेकिंग दिस तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि इफ यू वांट टू फॉर्म अ ट्रायंगल यू नीड एटलीस्ट 3 पॉइंट्स। ठीक है, 3 पॉइंट्स होना चाहिए तभी आप ट्रायंगल बना पाएंगे। एंड इफ यू वांट टू गेट लाइन, राइट, सो हाउ मेनी points should be there, at least 2 points, right? 2 points is there, okay, you can get a line, right? Okay, it means I'm talking about line segment you can get at least, right? So and triangle is nothing but a polygon. Polygon is what? A closed figure having straight line segment. ठीक है, these are the definition that you have to remember, right? ठीक है, so अगर मान लो क्वेश्चन आता है number of triangles और नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन निकालना है। ठीक है, और मान लो आपके पास ये कोई आपके पास दिस इज अ प्ले ग्राउंड, यू कैन से दिस इज अ नरेंद्र मोदी प्ले ग्राउंड, और कोई भी प्ले ग्राउंड आप लोग अपना फेवरेट प्ले ग्राउंड ले सकते हो। ठीक है, यहाँ पर पॉइंट्स हैं बहुत सारे, एक पॉइंट यहाँ पर है, एक पॉइंट यहाँ पर है, एक पॉइंट यहाँ पर। आप लोग जब ड्रीम 11 का मैच वो करते हो ना, ठीक है, मैच, ठीक है, तो उसमें इसी तरह से पॉइंट्स रहते हैं, मतलब वो प्लेयर्स रखे हुए हैं, एक प्लेयर यहाँ पर, एक प्लेयर यहाँ पर, एक प्लेयर, राइट? नाउ आउट ऑफ दीज पॉइंट्स, ओके, मान लो यहाँ पर अभी कितने पॉइंट्स हैं, देयर आर हाउ मेनी पॉइंट्स आर देयर, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, देयर आर 7 पॉइंट्स, वी कैन कंसीडर देयर आर n नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स, राइट? लेकिन अभी 7 पॉइंट्स ले लो। अब आपको अगर स्ट्रेट लाइन बनाना है तो नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन कितने हो सकते हैं, नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइंस, नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन के लिए आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, यू नीड ओनली 2 पॉइंट्स, राइट, टू गेट अ लाइन, राइट? तो आपको 2 पॉइंट्स सिलेक्ट करना है, यू डोंट टू अरेंज इट, यू हैव टू जस्ट सिलेक्ट इट, राइट? कोई भी 2 पॉइंट ले लो, कोई भी 2 पॉइंट, यू टेक दिस पॉइंट एंड दिस पॉइंट, यू ज्वाइन इट, you take this point and this point, join it, okay? all points are non collinear guys, all points are what, non collinear, right? ये याद रखना, अगर सारे पॉइंट्स नॉन कोलिनियर हैं, ठीक है, अंडरस्टूड? ये एक प्लेन, यू कैन से इन अ प्लेन देयर आर मेनी पॉइंट्स, राइट? सो कितने हो जाएंगे, हाउ मेनी पॉइंट्स आर देयर, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, सो आउट ऑफ 7 यू हैव टू टेक 2 पॉइंट्स टू गेट द नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन। अगर मान लो यहाँ पर n पॉइंट्स है, n पॉइंट्स विच आर नॉन कोलिनियर, नॉन कोलिनियर, ठीक है, अगर n पॉइंट्स विच आर नॉन कोलिनियर, ठीक है, दे आर नॉट केप्ट इन अ Okay, so how many straight line that you can have in this case? ठीक है, तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो इसमें हो जाएगा NC2. दिस इज अ फॉर्मूला, ओके, टू गेट नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन. याद रखना NC2, n के जगह में कितने भी नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, ओके. सो नॉन कोलिनियर का मतलब मैंने बताया कि ऑल पॉइंट्स आर नॉट इन ए स्ट्रेट लाइन. अगर पॉइंट स्ट्रेट लाइन में है, स्ट्रेट लाइन में 4 पॉइंट्स है, मान लो वो नॉन, सपोज इस तरह क्वेश्चन है कि 4 पॉइंट्स आर कोलिनियर and total 10 points are there. 4 points are collinear and 6 points are, you can say, non-collinear, right? So 4 points को आपको straight line में रख देना है और 6 points को आप circle में रख सकते हो, better, क्योंकि circle is not a straight line, right? That is a curve, right? तो आप non-collinear को अगर feel करना है तो you can think about any arc and put points on a arc, right? ठीक है, तो नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स और नंबर ऑफ लाइंस, ये इस तरह के क्वेश्चन आपको मिलेंगे, अच्छे अच्छे क्वेश्चन जैसे कैट में आ चुके हैं और यू कैन गेट इन IIT JEE मेंस एंड एडवांस, राइट? तो आपका थोड़ा सा ब्रेन ओपन होगा, दैट्स इट. और एप्टीट्यूड में ऐसे क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो मान लो अगर आपको 7 पॉइंट्स हैं एंड यू वांट टू फॉर्म अ ट्रायंगल, तो आपको क्या चाहिए? इसको ज्वाइन कर दो, इसको ज्वाइन कर दो, फिर इसको ज्वाइन कर दो, राइट? तो एक ट्रायंगल बन गया. तो हाउ मेनी पॉइंट्स यू नीड आउट ऑफ 7 पॉइंट? 7C3, राइट? तो आप बोल सकते हो नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स कितने हो जाएंगे? 7C3. और मान लो वहां पर n नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स हैं, तो फॉर्मूला क्या बनता है? NC3, राइट? तो फॉर्मूला याद रखना, इसके लिए NC3 और इसके लिए NC2. ओके, अंडरस्टूड? जब n is what? n is number of non-collinear points. Okay, so number of straight line you can find, number of triangle you can find easily, right? ठीक है, अब let us solve the question. It's a very simple question I'm going to take, right? आपको मैं एक क्वेश्चन बताता हूँ. एक क्वेश्चन रहेगा, उसको हम 2 मेथड से सॉल्व करेंगे. एक तो बहुत सिंपल मेथड रहेगा, मतलब पहले आपको काउंटिंग करना है रियल वाली और बाद में आपको डायरेक्टली आंसर दे देना है. मतलब हम आपको बताने वाले हैं क्या करना है. ठीक है, जस्ट वेट एंड वॉच. इसलिए मैंने शुरू में बता दिया था कि ओवर काउंटिंग एंड करेक्टिंग समटाइम्स कैन सेव योर लाइफ. ओके, आई होप दिस मेक सेंस टू ऑल, राइट? तो मान लो ऐसा क्वेश्चन है, ठीक है, मान लो ऐसा क्वेश्चन है कि आपके पास 10 पॉइंट्स हैं. देयर आर 10 पॉइंट्स, there are 10 points in a plane of which 4 are collinear, and rest are non-collinear. ठीक है, देखो बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होंगे जिनको कोलिनियर का मतलब ही ना समझ आता होगा. नॉन कोल, क्योंकि सब लोग हिंदी में पढ़ते हैं. मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आई हैव सीन, राइट? मैनी मेंटर्स दे टीच इन हिंदी, प्योर हिंदी में. तो आपका मीडियम वर्नाकुलर रहता है. मान लो किसी का CBSE बोर्ड है बट इंजीनियरिंग करते करते उनका वर्नाकुलर हो जाता है मीडियम, राइट? क्योंकि आपको पता ही है कि मतलब, है ना? आई हैव सीन ऑल द केसेस, राइट? क्योंकि आपको पता है मैं हमेशा केस बनाता हूँ, केस 1, केस 2, केस 3, किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए. तो देयर आर 10 पॉइंट्स, ओके, इन अ प्लेन ऑफ विच 4 आर कोलिनियर एंड रेस्ट आर नॉन कोलिनियर. तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन देखकर लोग भाग जाते हैं कि अरे ये क्वेश्चन तो, दिस इज नॉट माई कप ऑफ टी, राइट? ओके, तो दिस हैपेंस विद एवरीवन. दिस वाज हैपनिंग विद मी, अभी भी मेरे साथ होता है, इसीलिए मैं बोलता हूँ अभी भी मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, राइट? तो एंड in fact I will be happy to get back to academics also next year. ठीक, तो that announcement I will be making in future, right? तो आपको पता चलेगा. तो आप समझ सकते हो कि if you have learned something you apply it, okay, and win the game. ठीक है, so there are 10 points in a plane of which 4 are collinear and rest are non-collinear. ठीक है, तो आप बोल सकते हो क्वेश्चन इसमें है पहला, नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन कितने आएंगे? नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन आपको बताना है. नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रेट लाइन, एंड सेकंड क्वेश्चन आपका हो सकता है नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल। ये दो क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछे जा सकते हैं। मुझे पता है बहुत सारे लोग क्या सोच रहे होंगे, सर शॉर्टकट दे दीजिए जल्दी से आंसर आ जाएगा। देखो मैं काउंटिंग समझा रहा हूँ, तो यू नीड टू लर्न काउंटिंग। अगर उसका आपको मतलब बेसिक समझ आ गया ना, सो यू विल नेवर फॉरगेट, ठीक है। एंड लेट मी टेल यू गाइस, डोंट कीप इन माइंड एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ प्री कंसीव नोशन कि आपको पीएनसी नहीं आता है, यू कैन सॉल्व इट। नो, यू कैन सॉल्व इट। डोंट कीप इन माइंड कि अगर वो टीचर आपको नहीं पढ़ाया तो आपसे नहीं बनेगा। नो, डोंट थिंक लाइक दैट, ओके। All preconceived notions should be taken away, ठीक है। So there are 10 points in a plane of which 4 are collinear and rest are non-collinear. Number of straight line and number of triangles you have to find. चलो, so what you can think about it, suppose suppose there are 4 points, आप ऐसा रख सकते हो, एक पॉइंट यहाँ पर, एक पॉइंट यहाँ पर, एक पॉइंट यहाँ पर है, they are collinear points। और आप सोच सकते हो कि एक ऐसा कोई सर्कुलर आर्क ले सकते हैं, there are 6 points, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6, राइट, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पर 6 पॉइंट्स है। यहाँ पर ऑल गाइज आर व्हाट, ऑल गाइज आर कोलिनियर एंड नॉन कोलिनियर। ये कोलिनियर है, ये कोलिनियर है, आप ऐसा सोच सकते हो। ये अपना, दिस इज नॉट द करेक्ट फिगर दैट आई एम ड्रॉइंग, जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग आई एम टेलिंग यू, राइट। कि मान लो 4 पॉइंट्स हैं, स्ट्रेट लाइन में है, तो दे आर कोलिनियर, and 6 points are there, you can put in the arc, right? So better to feel it, okay, better to feel it, fine. So there are 10 points in a plane of which 4 are collinear and rest are non-collinear. Now, so suppose you have got 6, okay, so there are 6 non-collinear points, right? And if you want to get straight line, matlab you need to choose 2 points at least, right? 2 points, okay, ठीक है। तो आप क्या करोगे, you have to build a what, you have to build cases, right? You have to make a case, right? कि क्योंकि अगर आप दो नॉन लीनियर को लेते हो तो यू कैन गेट अ लाइन, राइट। इफ यू टेक 2 नॉन कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स यू कैन गेट अ लाइन, दैट इज केस 1। एक नॉन कोलिनियर ले लो, एक कोलिनियर पॉइंट ले लो, यू कैन गेट अ स्ट्रेट लाइन, राइट, दैट इज केस 2। एंड अगर आप मान लो दोनों कोलिनियर लेते हो, दैट इज केस 3। मतलब अगर दो पॉइंट कोलिनियर लेते हो, दैट इज आल्सो द स्ट्रेट लाइन दैट यू विल गेट। सो आपके पास क्या है, 3 केसेस बन रहे हैं, राइट। सो लेट मी टेक हियर, दिस इज मेथड 1, दिस इज द फर्स्ट मेथड दैट आई एम टेलिंग यू। द केस 1 what I am saying is 2 non-collinear point you choose. Case 2 what I am saying is 1 non-collinear and 1 collinear point, you can say collinear point I am taking. Case 3 1 collinear, sorry, 1 collinear and 1 collinear, right? ठीक है, समझ सकते हैं, ठीक है। because you have to get a line and if you want to get a line, straight line, you need 2 points, that's it, ठीक है। तो चाहे आप दो नॉन कोलिनियर ले लो, यू विल गेट अ स्ट्रेट लाइन। एक नॉन कोलिनियर लो, एक कोलिनियर लो, यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट इट, राइट। so out of suppose 6 non collinears are there, so you have to choose 2, right? So now you can write it, okay, you can write it। तो यहाँ पर आप सारा बना सकते हो। क्या हो जाएगा पहले का, 62। आई एम यूजिंग द फॉर्मूला ऑफ NCR, राइट। इसमें क्या हो जाएगा बताओ, 6C1 एंड 4C1, इसमें क्या हो जाएगा बताओ जल्दी फास्ट, ठीक है। तो अगर मान लो 1C अगर आप एक ही लेते हो तो कितने आएंगे बताओ। अगर मान लो आप दोनों पॉइंट कोलिनियर लेते हो तो कितने लाइन बनेंगे बताओ। हाउ मेनी लाइन यू विल गेट, एवरीवन प्लीज टेल मी। सपोज आपके पास दो पॉइंट है विच आर कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स, सो हाउ मेनी स्ट्रेट लाइन यू विल गेट, यू विल गेट ओनली 1 स्ट्रेट लाइन गाइस। चाहे आप 4 ले लो तब भी 1 स्ट्रेट लाइन आने वाली है, समझ आए क्या। तो ओनली 1 स्ट्रेट लाइन यू विल गेट, ठीक है, ओनली 1 स्ट्रेट लाइन। अब आप इसको ऐड कर दो, आंसर आ जाएगा, ठीक है। तो कितना आंसर आ गया गाइस बताओ, 40, ठीक है। दिस गाय विल गिव यू 15 and this guy will give you 24, and this is +1। ठीक है, तो कोलिनियर से आपको ज्यादा पॉइंट लाइन नहीं मिल सकती, एक ही लाइन मिलेगी, बट नॉन कोलिनियर जितने नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स रहेंगे आपको उतने स्ट्रेट लाइंस यू माइट गेट, राइट? आई होप एवरीबody might have understood these things, right? Let me move, and this is one way of learning, right? So this is the okay, this is the very important concept, right? अब देखो what we are going to do. This is the method 1, but now I am going to over count things, right? Method 2 में क्या करेंगे? Over counting and correcting. ठीक है, ओवर काउंटिंग एंड करेक्टिंग गाइस। ठीक है, ये सेम अप्रोच मैंने कहाँ से सीखी है, याद मैं बता देता हूँ। ओवर काउंटिंग एंड करेक्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट मैंने सीखा है स्टैनफोर्ड ऑनलाइन से, राइट? तो आपको समझना है कि दैट प्रोफेसर वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट समटाइम्स दिस इज अ ग्रेट स्ट्रैटेजी दैट यू कैन डू, राइट? मतलब आपको एक लाइन में आंसर आ जाएगा, ठीक है, वन लाइन में आपका आंसर आने वाला है गाइस, ठीक है, ओके। सो ओवर काउंटिंग एंड करेक्टिंग, तो आप टोटल नंबर ऑफ निकाल सकते हो, कितने पॉइंट टोटल है बताओ? Total point kitne? How many total points are there? There are 10 points. You need 2 points, right? So what you can do here is you can say that total minus repeated. मतलब जितने भी duplicates आए हैं, जितने भी repeat हो रहे हैं, we can say duplicates, right? Duplicates. You have to subtract it, right? So total number of ways we are finding total. That is, we are also over counting things, right? ठीक है, ओवर काउंटिंग। ये केस 1, केस 2, केस 3 वाज व्हाट? एक्चुअल काउंटिंग, राइट? रिमेंबर, वी आर नॉट ओवर काउंटिंग, हियर वी आर ओवर काउंटिंग, राइट? So 10 points are there, we don't care about whether they are non collinear or collinear points, right? We have the strategy, right? We can over counting, and then we can remove duplicates, right? है ना? तो ऐसा होता है लाइफ में, ठीक है। तो आप देखो, जैसे आपको पता होगा ड्यूरिंग कोविड-19, राइट, व्हाट हैपेंड, मेनी एम्प्लॉय वर हायर्ड बाय वेरियस कंपनीज, राइट, इन इंडिया, इन द वर्ल्ड, राइट? एंड देन सिंस द पैंडेमिक स्टार्टेड स्लोइंग डाउन, ठीक है, ओवर काउंटिंग एंड देन आई होप दिस मेक्स सेंस टू ऑल, राइट? तो उस टर्म को आपको पता है क्या बता देते हैं फिर लोग, है ना? उस टाइम से ही ये कॉन्सेप्ट आया था ले ऑफ का, लेइंग ऑफ, वहां पर भी ये सिचुएशन चलता है, तो आपको याद रखना है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है आपके लाइफ के लिए। तो ओवर काउंटिंग एंड करेक्टिंग, टोटल माइनस रिपीटेड, तो टोटल कितने रहेंगे? 10C2 माइनस, अब रिपीटेड कितने आ जाएंगे बताओ? रिपीटेड मींस व्हाट? आपके पास 4 कोलिनियर पॉइंट्स हैं, ओके, एंड 2 पॉइंट्स इफ यू टेक, दैट विल गिव यू अ लाइन, दैट्स इट। बट वहां पर 3 एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स ऐसे हैं, मतलब 2 एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स ऐसे हैं जो कि रिपीट करेंगे, राइट? दे आर एक्स्ट्रा, राइट? क्योंकि इन out of 4 collinear points only you need 2 points, right? So what you can do here is you can subtract 4C2, right? So you will get the answer. What is 10C2 minus 4C2? Anybody? Okay, and one more thing that you have to do is you have to add 1 plus 1. ये plus 1 करना important है यहाँ पर, this is very important, plus 1, right? So I think this is clear. तो कितना आंसर आ जाएगा? 40. 40. So these points are very important, guys. This is very important, right? So 4C2 plus 1. Yes, very good, very good. Yeah, Atif is understanding, right? So 10C2 minus 4C2 plus 1, that line is 1. One line is separate because of, I hope this makes sense to all, right? So let me add this point because Atif has written here, so line formed by collinear point. ये पॉइंट आप नोट कर लो, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि फिर धीरज सर जस्ट ही हैज रिटन 1। यस, सो आप देखो इस क्वेश्चन को 1 लाइन में आप सॉल्व कर पा रहे हो, तो याद रखना ओवर काउंटिंग एंड करेक्टिंग इज वन ऑफ द ग्रेट कॉन्सेप्ट, राइट? और ये देखो यार, समटाइम्स लाइक आई एम आल्सो अ ऑर्डिनरी गाय, so I also learn from people who are really expert in this area, right? and I try to make simple and then I try to deliver in front of you, right? तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, I'm not like born intelligent solving this question. मुझे भी नहीं आता था before couple of years, अभी से आना स्टार्ट हुआ है, ठीक है? तो आपको ये you can take this as a motivation, ठीक है, कि सर को नहीं आता था मतलब मुझे भी नहीं आता, अभी मुझे भी आने लगेगा, ठीक है? You take this as a motivation, right? Don't take it as a अरे सर को नहीं आता था, ओहो, right? Okay, I think you understanding, right? तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट आपको याद रखना। अब चलो आ जाओ एक बार बात कर लेते हैं ट्रायंगल के लिए, राइट? तो ट्रायंगल को भी हम लोग यू कैन सॉल्व मेथड 1। सो नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स के लिए हम लोग करेंगे नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स, ठीक है? तो नंबर ऑफ ट्रायंगल्स में केस 1 बनाते हैं। केस 1 में क्या होगा, मान लो आप 2 पॉइंट नॉन कोलिनियर ले लो और 1 पॉइंट आप ले लो लीनियर का, राइट? या कि तीनों पॉइंट नॉन कोलिनियर ले सकते। केस 2 में क्या कर सकते हो, 2 नॉन कोलिनियर 1 कोलिनियर, ओके? एंड केस 3 में क्या कर सकते हैं, 2 कोलिनियर एंड 1 नॉन कोलिनियर पॉइंट। तो इससे भी आप बना सकते हो, राइट? आई थिंक ट्रायंगल फाइंड करने का तरीका आपको पता चल गया, ठीक है? एटलीस्ट आपको कितने, हाउ मेनी पॉइंट्स यू नीड, 3 पॉइंट्स टू हैव अ ट्रायंगल, राइट? बिकॉज ट्रायंगल इज अ पॉलीगन which is closed figure, right? And having 3 line segments in it, okay? And that too cyclic you will find, okay? तो ये याद रखना, ठीक है? आप इसको ट्रायंगल नहीं बोल सकते, दिस इज नॉट द पॉलीगन इन फैक्ट, राइट? So if you want to realize the basic polygon, that can be a triangle and number of sides you need is 3, ठीक है? तो अब आगे, अब ये तो केस जब बना दिया means you should not take much time guys, right, in order to answer the question. So this is 6c3, इसमें कितना हो जाएगा, 6c2 4c1, यहाँ पर कितना हो जाएगा, 4c2 and 6c1। I think answer is there, right? क्या आंसर है बताओ? Yes guys, so this you can solve it. I am okay, whatever answer is there, right? See, it takes a lot of time to calculate this, but ये एक easy method मैंने आपको बताया है जो कि that will force you to count it, right? लेकिन you can also go for a strategy that I have told you today, right? That strategy is amazing strategy, over counting and correcting, right? Over counting and correcting meaning is removing duplicates in your life, from your life, right? So I think you are not happy with 1, you go for it, लेकिन duplicate हटाते चलो, समझ आया ना? ठीक है? तो method 2 is my favorite method, that is called over counting and correcting, ठीक है? So what will happen is that you can say total minus repeated, right? Or redundant you can say, which are not necessary, redundant also, मतलब आप उसको एक और भी वर्ड बोलते हैं redundant, जब कोई भी चीज रिडंडेंट होती है आपकी लाइफ से तो आप उसको इग्नोर करते हो, राइट? ठीक है? मान लो इन अ टीम देयर आर 14 पीपल, अब 2 से काम चल रहा है तो फिर समझ सकते हो, राइट? सबको भगा ही देंगे, ठीक है? ओके, सो यू कीप लर्निंग समथिंग व्हिच नोबडी कैन रिमूव यू, राइट? दैट इज व्हाट द अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज, राइट? आप कुछ ऐसा सीख लो लाइफ में, कोई आपको हटा ही नहीं सकता है, ठीक है? चाहे कोई भी हो। सो दैट थिंग इज मैथमेटिक्स। अगर आपको लीनियर अलजेब्रा एंड प्रोबेबिलिटी स्टैटिस्टिक्स आ गया मतलब कोई नहीं हटा सकता। चलो, तो टोटल कितने हैं बताओ? टोटल 10c3 माइनस 4c3, टोटल में से 4c3 हमें सब्ट्रैक्ट करना है, ठीक है? अब आपको लगेगा सर यहाँ पर हम ऐड क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी ऐड नहीं कर रहे हैं, सब्ट्रैक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, बस इतना ही किए, राइट? आई होप दिस मेक सेंस टू ऑल। कितना आंसर आया? 116। यस आतिफ, 116 इज करेक्ट है। चलो, तो 116 ठीक है, whatever I'm not adding guys, okay, I'm not good at addition, you guys can do it, right? वो मैं एग्जाम बस में करूंगा डायरेक्टली, ठीक है. So I hope this makes sense to all. Okay, so guys, this is enough for today. I will meet in the next session and I have to discuss still more concepts, right? बहुत सारे concepts हैं. I'll talk about linear permutation. I have to talk about circular permutation. Then I will also talk about dearrangements. और भी बहुत सारे concepts हैं. We have to learn how to distribute. Suppose you have n number of things and you have to distribute among 5 people or 4 people or r people, right? So कैसे आप distribute करोगे, ठीक है? और अगर मान लो अभी तो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट डिस्टिंक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट्स, राइट? ऑल ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर डिस्टिंक्ट, बट सपोज देयर आर इनडिस्टिंक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट, राइट? permutation with indistinct object, selection with indistinct object, right? So how we are going to deal with those situations? समझ जाओ कि 2 sessions will be more, right, to finish this entire story of PNC. Then we will start probability and statistics. Okay, and let me make you sure guys, जिंदगी में आप कभी नहीं भूलोगे पीएनसी और परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन यहाँ से सीखने के बाद, प्रोबेबिलिटी एंड स्टैटिस्टिक्स यहाँ से सीखने के बाद, राइट? कोई भी क्वेश्चन, चाहे वो हार्वर्ड का हो, एमआईटी का हो, यू नो एमएल का क्वेश्चन, कोई भी बेस्ड ऑन प्रोबेबिलिटी एंड स्टैटिस्टिक्स आप कर ले जाओगे, राइट? ठीक है, so we'll meet in the next session. I hope you might have enjoyed the session. Yes, Atif, 4C3 is subtracted because triangle formed by 4 collinear points is not valid. Yeah, very good. So we'll meet in the next session, guys. Thank you so much and take care. And please share these session in your, you can say in your, you know, you can say in your LinkedIn profile, or in you can share on your Facebook, Telegram, WhatsApp, जहाँ भी आपको शेयर करना है जिससे सब लोग सीखें आके, right? So Asdev is asking, sir, when you give practice question and assignments, तो सारी चीजें हम लोग अभी बात करेंगे, because see, as I promised that I'm gonna offer logistic as well as learning. So I started sharing my learning. Okay, you started learning something. Logistic I'm gonna share, but there is some policy that you know already, right? You can understand also if I'm gonna share some logistics, right? So you know, so I will be talking about that. Okay. Okay. So those people will be getting access to logistics who will be following the you know terms and conditions which I will be imposing, right? तो क्योंकि जिसको अच्छा रिजल्ट चाहिए तो people will you know take care of that, ठीक है? So we will meet soon. Okay, take care and good night.